Welcome. If you're new here, I'm Mashudu Mbhele. I'm a life transformation coach, also an NLP practitioner. So I'm a founder of Enabler Solutions. I help people transform their lives. So I help them to understand the root cause of their challenges because there's no point trying to fix the symptoms. So today we're going to do a bit of a demo of to understand why trying to fix the symptom won't help you. So just think of someone who's going through the most. Maybe it's yourself. You've got burnout. You've suffered from burnout, and maybe you're a people pleaser, or you're someone who's just going through issues in terms of relationship with someone else. You are stuck and you don't know what to do. So today, I'm just going to do a little demonstration because my role is to help you to understand and then we can provide you with tools. So I work at an intersection between transformation and behavioral change for people. So let's just say for someone who's having burnout. So someone might say, go take a holiday, just rest, sleep, go to Netflix and watch a series, and maybe just go to the sea and just sit there. And then they take a holiday, they don't come back, they come back. Yeah, so they come back, but they still feel tired. So basically, you are not addressing the root cause. You are addressing the symptoms, which is what we've normalized in doing. So when someone comes to me, we do it differently. So you'll come to me, and one of the things that I will ask you as well is to understand when did that feeling start being normal? When did you start normalizing burnout? So as you're doing this with me, let's just do it together. So that is a framework that I'll ask. So it's basically three essential questions that I'll ask you. When did you start normalizing that? And then with that, I'll wait. Then you give feedback. And because at times you don't have time to pause and reflect. So that's why you go to a coach or a mental health practitioner to help you to give you that opportunity because we are always in a fight and flight mode, which is something you might have learned at a earlier stage trying to survive. That is your way, that is your protective layer in terms of how you survive in this world. So that is the question of saying, when did that start feeling normal? You being burnt out, you just overworking yourself. Because when it happens, there is, but you just ignore it, you just take it as a sign. You find that your intuition say, nah, this is what is happening. And then the next question is, who were you afraid when it happened of disappointing? Who were you afraid of disappointing the first time this happened? So, who were you afraid of disappointing the first time it happened so that you push yourself to the limit? Another question to rephrase that question, because sometimes if you're not used to this type of questioning, I could say, in terms of your childhood, how does overworking yourself beyond the limit, how is that related to your childhood? Because that is where we'll start understanding the patterns and the root cause. Because you went on a holiday, you took a day off, you watch Netflix, but you're still tired, you're still exhausted, you cannot think clearly. So reflect on that. And then you find that you go deeper. And if you're listening to it now at the moment, what I'd like you to do is take those questions You might find me just talking about this. Take those questions, click pause on this recording, and then you reflect. You realize you might even write 1 or 2 pages about this. If you're someone who doesn't like writing, just click a record in your phone and you record yourself asking yourself that question. And then when you're done, you'll ask yourself, I'll ask you, what does resting mean to you when you allow it? Because for so many people, we've been taught that resting is laziness. You need to continue serving. But the question is, when are you going to fill up your cup? So, another thing again, what does resting mean when you allow it? When you deeply allow it? Just sit with that response. And you realize that the response that you are going to get is that resting is not related to a time management problem. It's basically related to the beliefs that you might have learned from a young age. The belief, because when we are young, we emulate those who are around us, we emulate our caregivers. And you start having this belief of saying, my worth is tied to an output, because you saw your caregivers, you saw people, you saw those you idealize doing it. So this could be a role that you learned to play at a younger age, so that you're called the reliable one, so that you're called the strong one, the one who doesn't need help. That's why it's important if there are those people who are always helping others. Today, as you are reflecting and doing this work, go and ask them how they are, because they'll never come to you unless they've done the work of their personal journey to unlearn those patterns, to unlearn those beliefs. So that response that you might have, that is the root cause. Because it's showing you that you might take a holiday, you might watch a series, and you still feel exhausted. And that is why working at the root cause of an issue, it helps you to understand, because healing and transformation starts with awareness. And the last 3 questions that I've asked you, they are all creating awareness to try and understand yourself on a deeper level rather than just addressing the symptom. So now you being burnt out, it's tied to that belief. They say for this one is that my worth is tied to what I produce. How many of you who are saying that? If you are listening to this, just type and say, I can relate. So this, as you're listening to this video, this is an opportunity to interrupt your life and address the root cause and start healing your beliefs. And I trust that experiment has showed you how powerful when you pause and reflect on the responses that you get, because the answers are within. So just to take this a step further, wherever you're watching now, just think of a challenge that you're currently facing that you are unable to resolve. And ask yourself, if you continue doing the same thing to try and resolve it, how is that helping you? And what would it mean if you stop doing that act the way you're doing it? Just reflect on that response. Just take the first response, and you realize you'll get a nudge within you of saying, no, do this differently, which we tend to ignore. Because over our lives, when we grow up, we are taught not to trust our intuition, which is a gift that you have. So, with all the challenges that you're facing, look at that. What is it that you're continuing doing and you're not getting a result? And why? What would happen if you just stop and find another way? So, just to recap, we spoke about fixing the symptom, and it could be people pleasing, burnout, but I focused on burnout, and we found out that you can go on a holiday, you can do something, but if you don't address the root cause, it becomes an issue. It becomes persistent, and you say, "I've given it my all." So I'll say you didn't give it your all. Did you look at external help? Did you go to someone who's more knowledgeable, can provide you with tools to unpack that issue? With that being said, me, myself, as a transformation coach, I help individuals and teams so that they can unpack the root cause of their challenges. Because when you unpack them, you get to the root cause and then it's easier to have solutions. Because it's time to stop carrying those same patterns and say, I've tried it all. So if this has triggered you and you feel nudged and you are ready to work on yourself, you are welcome to send me a DM and type clarity. I offer free discovery sessions. This is where it's like we are on an interview with each other to check if we can work together. Because when you start investing time and embarking on your healing and transformation journey, you need to do it with someone that you can connect with. And I also need to ensure that I work with someone who's committed, because you can just say it and then you don't fully commit. And time is wealth. That is what I learned today in one of the podcasts I was facilitating. Time is wealth and time is money. So if that question stirred you up today, so do send that message, send a DM, or you can check in the comments on how you can reach out. Let's have that free discovery session, and then I'll share how I can help you, because each person is unique. We're not the same. There's no one fits all, because that is how unique we are. And I would just like to say thank you for being here. And if this resonated, do text someone who needs to hear this, and do practice that framework that I shared and start pausing and reflecting. I'm Coach Mashudu Mbhele. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.